afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Hope you all survived the storms yesterday, and the cleanup continues.
A lot of people had damage, and a lot of people are still without power this afternoon, and it is dangerously hot outside.
We'll get to all that in just a minute, but that is topping our news today as cleanup continues. The remains of yesterday's storms will be today's problems.
We'll have the latest on the cleanup, trying to get away from the heat. Well, you can't. Temperatures are in the upper 90s in Wisconsin today. We have tips on how to save power and to take care of your pets, too.
And a man found in 1995 was identified in Rock County today. John Clinton Doe finally has a name. Let's take a look outside. It's Flag Day today.
That's right. Happy Flag Day.
Stars and stripes wilting in the
That's
heat.
right.
The weather words for today.
The heat stays on.
The heat stays
are the
on.
weather words.
Dana's in the backyard. Wow, it's not pleasant.
It's not. I'm melting right now. It is parasol weather or stay inside kind of weather. My heart goes out to those without power right now because it is very uncomfortable. Temperature-wise, we are at 96 right now in Madison. The previous daily high temperature record, 95. So we're above that, and we still have the possibility over the next hour to climb another degree or two. 97 currently in Janesville, with heat advisories in effect for areas northwest of Dane County through the rest of today. But for Dane County and areas east, we still have heat advisories heading into tomorrow. Now, for some folks, it might seem like we're blowing this heat up maybe just a little bit too much, but this just does not happen often in southern Wisconsin. In fact, again, that 95 set for today was set back in 1987. The last time that we were at 95 degrees was back in 2018. Now, this year we have already seen 94. That happened in the middle of May. But it is hot outside, and you've got to remember the heat index readings factored in. It feels even hotter than where we're currently at. So please keep in mind, you got to stay hydrated and take breaks if you are outside. You really want to limit those strenuous activities because that's going to produce more sweat and exhaust you quicker. Wear light colored clothes and check on those that are a little more sensitive to this heat. As we look ahead to tomorrow, high temperatures will be in the low 90s with heat index readings yet again in the triple digits, and then the chance for another line of storms late in the day. We will time out that storm chance for us late Wednesday, coming up in just a few.
All right, no break in sight. Dana, thank you. Cleanup crews had to deal with the heat and humidity today as they tried to pick up after yesterday's storms.
Significant damage from the storms was left behind across Madison and Dane County.
McKenna Alexander has a look at the cleanup efforts that started back up this morning.
Just a day after the storm, cleanup still continues, especially on the north side of Madison, where some apartment complexes were hit the hardest. Now, you can see here behind me, cleanup is continuing this morning. Crews arrived here around 6 a.m. There are a couple located around this complex. Now, this debris over here, this roof and everything that comes with it, actually came from a building a few passes over. So it did not come from any of these buildings. It got picked up the roof, transported all the way over here. A couple trees as well falling down, hitting 3 or 4 cars, 3 of them completely totaled. We did speak with some man this morning. The car in his middle is actually his daughter. So just terrible, terrible tragedy for them. As for the rest of cleanup, it is still continuing. They've already made a good amount of progress. This morning when I was here, there were a lot more branches, but now that this gate is cleared up, people are moving in and out, getting things cleaned up. Luckily, no one was hurt, and services should be restored by later today. So residents should be back in their own homes tonight.
That is McKenna Alexander reporting. MG&E said this afternoon that some customers may not have power restored until tomorrow. Here is a map of the power outages in Madison right now. More than 5,400 MG&E customers remain without power. Crews are still cleaning up downed trees all over the area, and the heat today is complicating things even further. And with temperatures soaring, the National Weather Service has declared heat advisories from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. both days, today and tomorrow.
But the effects of yesterday's thunderstorms have left thousands without power, including air conditioning. Power outages compounded with extreme heat has many wondering how to stay safe. A key to make it through the heat is the ability to identify heat-related health problems. The first signs of heat exhaustion are muscle cramps, lightheadedness, and dehydration. If you start to experience any of these symptoms, take a break from whatever it is you're doing and get some water. It's recommended everybody drink more fluids than they usually would. Heat stroke can occur when symptoms of heat exhaustion escalate or go ignored. Signs someone might be suffering from heat stroke include nausea, vomiting, confusion, and loss of consciousness. If someone's exhibiting these behaviors, take them to the hospital.
So some people can't remove themselves from the environment. I think that's where, as a community, if you have neighbors who don't have air conditioning, they're older, maybe they're on some prescription drugs, go check on them today, see how they're doing.
For those planning to be outside, it's important to monitor your temperature, wear loose-fitting clothing, and continuously hydrate through the heat advisory ends tomorrow. There will be more days like this to come, and everybody should prepare for that as much as they can.
Dane County Emergency Management has opened several cooling centers across the area. The Red Cross opened a cooling shelter at Madison College, and they also used their gym last night as a shelter for anyone displaced from the storm, though officials say luckily no one had to use that yet. Cool water and snacks are there for residents and families still waiting for the power to come back on in dangerous heat.
Anytime that we open a cooling center, we want people to be safe. So being safe is the #1 priority. So we are asking people, if you do feel hot, if you don't have power, please take care of yourself and your family members and find somewhere cool to go.
County officials also used the Alliant Energy Center Coliseum as a cooling center until 5 o'clock today. We'll have more from them on News 3 Now at 5.
And there are more cooling centers in South Central Wisconsin. Power has been restored to the Monona Public Library and Senior Center following yesterday's storm. Both are now open to be used as cooling centers. The library is open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. In Grant County, the city of Platteville announced it would open cooling centers at the Platteville Police Department on 4th Street. Middleton has centers open 24 hours a day at the police department and the fire department. For a complete list, visit our website, channel3000.com.
And don't forget about your pets. The Dane County Humane Society is reminding families to take a couple extra steps to help your four-legged friends get through this heat wave. Heat stroke symptoms in pets are very similar to people. It includes drooling, lethargy, and with dogs, excessive panting. So give your pet extra water and consider adding extra bowls of water in your home. And remember to avoid hot sidewalks. Your dog's paws are bare skin, which can be easily burned by hot surfaces. Cranking the AC, of course, will also crank up your energy bill. So here's some advice on how to help on this hot day. Make sure that your air conditioner works efficiently by replacing dirty filters and cleaning off the outdoor coils. It's more energy efficient to leave the thermostat at a lower consistent setting rather than letting it go up in the house during the day when you're gone and then trying to rapidly cool it down when you get home. Make sure your ceiling fans are turning the right way. You want them to go counterclockwise in the summertime, clockwise in the wintertime. And try to avoid opening your refrigerator, as that actually takes up a lot of energy too. And unplug any electronics and appliances that are not in use.
And we're not the only ones getting hit hard by the heat. Spain's first major heat wave of the year continued today. Temperatures expected to reach almost 110 degrees in some parts of the country. The heat wave brought by massive hot air from North Africa expected to last at least until the end of the week. In other news, for nearly 30 years, the identity of the Riverman has been a mystery until today.
Authorities are finally able to identify the man as Carl J. Isaacs Jr. Up until now, he's been referred to as John Clinton Doe.
Investigators found his remains in a wooded area along Turtle Creek in Clinton in November of 1995. Brady Mallory joins us now with a look at what finally led to a break in the case. Brady.
The Rock County Sheriff says this has been a mystery for most of his career. This comes after the DNA Doe Project announced the case was solved in 2019, but withheld the name at the request of authorities in Rock County. Today, the Rock County Sheriff publicly identified the remains as Isaacs, who had walked away from the Walworth County Jail back in April 1995.
Kind of sad to have to get together and discuss the untimely death of a young individual in our community. But I am glad to finally be able to bring a little resolution to the individual's identity.
Identifying him took 2 weeks of investigative genetic genealogy analysis. The confirmation came this year when the University of North Texas compared this DNA to a close family member. Just because authorities have solved this part of the case, that doesn't mean the investigation is over. We'll show you what happens now on News 3 Now at 5.
Interesting, Brady, thank you. Well, stocks made modest gains after all three major indexes tanked yesterday. The S&P 500 began the day in bear market territory, down more more than 20% from its peak.
All eyes are now on the Federal Reserve, which could respond to inflation with its biggest interest rate hike in more than 2 decades.
Michael George reports from Wall Street.
Stocks finished mixed, following a Monday free fall that sent the S&P 500 into bear market territory.
It's significant. They don't happen that often, but about a dozen times since World War II.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says soaring inflation and the likelihood of more interest rate hikes continue to rattle investors.
I'm down big. It's amazing. Where I was 2 years ago, it's incomparable to where I am today.
With the national average for a gallon of gas now topping $5, many Americans are taking a hard look at their retirement portfolios and their budgets.
As a family, we will be focused on our spending and our saving, hunkering down.
Investors and businesses are bracing for Wednesday's decision from the Federal Reserve on interest rates to fight soaring inflation.
The Federal Reserve has to thread this needle. By raising interest rates, what's happening is they could actually tip us into a recession if they go too far, too fast.
Speaking at an organized labor convention, President Biden put the blame on Republicans in Congress.
The problem is, Republicans in Congress are doing everything they can to stop my plans to bring down costs on ordinary families. That's why my plan is not finished.
It's unclear how long the bear market will last, so analysts recommend investors pay down debt and keep their money in the market in anticipation of a rebound. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Well, stocks closed mixed on Wall Street. The Dow Industrial's down another 151 points, closing at 30,346. The Nasdaq managed a 19-point gain, but the S&P fell another 14 points, falling into its first bear market since March of 2020.
Madison's professional soccer team, Forward Madison, is facing off against a German club, Paderborn, tomorrow. The Flamingos are off to a flying start for the month of June with a 3-2 win this past weekend. The Gary Beale German Polka Band is playing pre-match, and German beers and food will be available. A special ticket pack is available for $30, featuring a commemorative beer stein, a ticket to the match, and a beer voucher.
It's always a fantastic opportunity to test yourself against a higher level club, a club, with the backing and the support that Paderborn have. From that perspective, it's a challenge, but we're also very excited to take part in the contest.
It is Forward Madison's first international friendly of the season and is the first time since 2019 the club has faced off against a German opponent. The match takes place tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Breeze-Stevens Field.
And a friendly means it doesn't mean anything. A friendly match? Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at me like I know. I'm waiting for our producer to tell us.
Well,
He's the big soccer.
I thought I heard you asking earlier.
Yeah, I just thought it meant a match. I didn't realize it didn't count.
It's friendly.
Got it. It's friendly.
Still to come at 4 on average. Sorry. Americans lose almost 5 unused vacation days a year.
What is wrong with us? UW distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain will help us figure this out when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Hire just a handyman, and that bathroom update could take weeks or months. But Mad City Baths installs in as little as 1 day. We're Wisconsin's #1 remodeler and trusted local source for baths, custom tub-to-shower conversions, and walk-in tubs, infused with microban technology to prevent bacteria, mold, and mildew. Now's the best time to call for incredible savings. It's our 60-60-60 sale. Save with 60% off installation of a new bath or shower with 60 months, 0% interest, senior and military discounts, and receive a $60 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. And that's not all. Call during this program for a bonus, $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. Check us out online at madcitybaths.com or throughout South Central Wisconsin. Call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless, because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Take one, marker. Toilet paper, we all use it. And like cheese or motorcycles, Wisconsin's long been a leader in production. But we lost our share of the market and jobs as companies sought cheaper and cheaper labor. Our supply chain crisis shows just how vulnerable we are when we allow Wisconsin products to be made overseas. I'm running for Senate to fight this race to the bottom, to make sure Wisconsin jobs and products are made right here. Because Chinese toilet paper, my ass. I'm Tom Nelson, and I approve this message.
Surgenian's landfill-free guarantee has kept more than 20 million pounds of commercial and residential carpet and pad from area landfills. Visit Madison's largest showroom of flooring options, including eco-friendly products. Local, sustainable Surgenian's.
At Pick and Save, we believe it takes the right team to bring you fresh produce. That's why we partner with farmers who grow only the best, because working together is truly what it takes to be fresh for everyone. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th siege on the U.S. Capitol is making adjustments to its schedule.
The hearing originally planned for tomorrow is now postponed. Sources say a technical issue led to the delay. The committee's work is expected to resume on Thursday.
The storm may have knocked down a lot of trees, but the MG&E peregrine falcon chicks are still in their makeshift nest atop the Blount power station. We got some emails, people concerned that they didn't see them, but here they are. Here's a look at two of them from earlier today. We have seen all four since the storm last night, but they like to hide behind the camera a little bit. The chicks are named Harmony, Sonata, Maestro, and Presto in honor of the concerts on the square returning to the Capitol Square. They hatched May 17th, about a month old now.
No, we appreciate that. A lot of people had a lot of concern about them after the storms.
I don't know what the setup is like there.
Yeah,
but they're fine.
It was a good sight to see them this morning.
Well, it's estimated that Americans leave millions of vacation days unused every year. The average unused paid time off last year was 4.6 days.
And even if we do take time off, a lot of us stay plugged into work. We check email and social media and phone messages.
This is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
Distinguished psychologist Dr. Shyla Mergain joins us with 4 reasons why you should make the most of your time off. Shyla, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Shyla. Good to see you.
Great to see you both. Thanks for having me.
It's crazy that people aren't using all their vacation.
Absolutely. Now more than ever, we're dealing with elevated levels of stress, anxiety, fear, and frustration due to uncertainty and change and some of the complexity of the world we live in. And we all need a vacation. And I think, first, travel provides perspective. It allows us to see our life differently and our challenges through new eyes when we can leave our little community or even the country to see how other people live. It also provides some mental flexibility that dealing with some of the challenges like delayed flights or traffic or unfamiliar cities can help us just become more resilient in general. And I think lastly, it helps us feel more interconnected with everyone in the planet. We realize we're more alike than similar. And I think it can help us look at problems with a fresh eye and openness to generate creative solutions that are good for all.
I always feel like getting a change of scene always helps if you're in a period where you're stressed or struggling. And it's obviously very expensive now to travel with prices going up, but it really is good for your health, right?
Absolutely. I think in two ways. There was a famous landmark Framingham Heart Study, the longest running study of cardiovascular disease. And they found men who did not take an annual vacation, they were shown to have a 30% greater risk of death from heart disease. And for women, too, there were significant heart benefits. That's also good for your mental health. And I think this finding was striking, that after just one day or two of vacation, 89% of people had a significant drop in stress. And I think, yes, finances are tight, gas prices are high. So even considering something like a staycation, where you really unplug, there are benefits to that for overall well-being. And we find that, that can really strengthen our relationships and actually make us more effective at work.
But it's hard for people to unplug completely. What's your advice?
Yeah, well, we think as adults, our favorite times often in childhood were those vacations. And they find that the time that we are happiest is actually when we're planning a vacation, and we don't want to miss it. And it's great for kids to model the ability to unplug, right, as adults. So we want to model that and just give yourself permission, set those boundaries at work. Say, hey, I'm not going to check in, or if I'm going to check in, give yourself a designated time from 6 to 7 at night, twice during my vacation. And if it's an emergency, contact this person, or if you have to contact me during this time. And again, at the end of our life, no one ever says, oh, I wished I worked more. Instead, they say, I wish I had been present more with my loved ones and with the world around me. So even if you plan a day off, a staycation, or something later this summer, you're worth it. And I think you'll come back closer with the people that you travel with and a new perspective on life.
Yeah, well, I'll need a break once in a while. Shyla, good advice as usual.
Good to see you, Shyla. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Hope to see you next month.
All right. Take care. There's more at 4. This blistering hot weather is not only uncomfortable, it can be deadly.
Especially for children or pets left in a locked car. We'll take a look at how quickly your car heats up. Coming up after Julian's first warn. Dana's first warn forecast.
Gain back your bathing independence and eliminate the risk of a fall with a new low step-in or barrier-free shower design from Mad City Baths. High-quality baths and showers infused with microban antimicrobial protection to prevent odor-causing bacteria, mold, and mildew. Installed in 1 day.
That's one of the things that I like about it, is that the step down is only, 4 inches or something like that. That is so nice.
Update your bath or shower now and save. It's our 60-60-60 sale. Save with 60% off installation of a new bath or shower with 60 months, 0% interest, senior and military discounts, and receive a $60 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call during this program for a bonus $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. Call for a free estimate at 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
At McGann Furniture in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. And remember, at McGann, we don't raise our prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo.
And I walked right into U.S. Cellular and I said I want to choose any phone in here for free.
What'd he say?
He said, sure. Really nice guy. I had my pick of any phone from any brand, free, even the newest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the big screen?
Yeah.
Big storage?
Yeah.
Fits in your pocket?
Fits in my pocket. Yeah, it's a big phone, and that's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
At U.S. Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroiled steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
Take a look at this. A frightening scene as a dog running for his life somehow got into the gorilla enclosure at the San Diego Safari Park over the weekend. This can't end well, except it does. Zoo officials are unsure how the dog managed to jump into the gorilla habitat. Wildlife care specialists had to move the two gorillas out of the area so workers could rescue the dog, which they did. Local media report that the dog does not have a microchip, so it's now at the Humane Society. Hope someone comes forward. No one was injured, but officials say it could have ended much worse.
Yeah, glad this had a happy ending.
That poor pup was just looking for some friends and went to the wrong spot.
Nah, not those two guys.
No.
Well, astronomers will mark the moon reaching its full stage early tomorrow morning in what is known as the strawberry supermoon. It's a period where the full moon is at its closest to Earth the whole year.
The moon has already appeared full since Sunday night, but will reach its lowest point at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. The event is labeled the Strawberry Moon, according to Native American tradition, because it is the full moon at strawberry harvest time. Supermoons refer to periods in which the moon is at its closest to the Earth.
And on the news show, Pam Yankee said the strawberry season has begun in some areas.
Oh, it's good to hear.
That's good news.
Yeah, that is good news.
But I don't think you want to be picking berries in this weather.
No. Well, wait, maybe until the weekend. It might be a good Father's Day activity for us, right? It's going to be a little hot outside still for tomorrow. We're taking a closer look at when the heat turns off and specifically the line of storms building in late Wednesday, right after the break.
I think if we ever decide to sell, it's definitely going to improve the value of our home.
Mad City has more than 50,000 satisfied customers. We're A+ rated with the BBB, installing baths, showers, and walk-in tubs with upscale wall patterns like sandalwood, Arctic ice, and Sierra sand, infused with microban for easy cleaning. Remember, we install in as little as 1 day. So call now. It's our 60-60-60 sale. Save with 60% off installation of a new bath or shower with 60 months, 0% interest, senior and military discounts, and receive a $60 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call during this program for a bonus, $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. Check us out online at madcitybaths.com or throughout South Central Wisconsin. Call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
we've got a warm front to the north and a cold front just off to the west, and being sandwiched in between means our temperatures climbing over the daily high temp record right now in the mid-90s for us. It is hot outside with our breeze ripping up from the south. Looking ahead to tomorrow, our attention shifts just a little bit. In the afternoon, it's still hot and humid because this cold front doesn't cross over until the late afternoon and evening. And that cold front is going to enter an environment that's very warm and very humid, so it's going to have the perfect fuel in place to bring in strong to severe thunderstorms for us late tomorrow. As far as our severe potential, right now we're up to an enhanced risk, so a 3 on a scale to 5, something that we'll be monitoring very closely throughout the evening tomorrow. This covers pretty much all of our area, only the very southeast corner of the state at a slight risk. The biggest concern here, high winds yet again, seeing wind gusts well close to 60 miles per hour for some areas, not ruling out the potential for an isolated tornado threat, and also the possibility for large hail. Again, very similar to what we had come through yesterday. Looking at the timing, overnight things will be mostly clear. We'll start the day off tomorrow close to 80, and then in the morning, that slight chance for showers expected to pass through mainly northwest of Dane County. The main line, though, doesn't build in until the late afternoon and evening, really once we get closer to that evening commute. So most of the day will be sunny outside. That's going to allow things to heat up quite a bit for us. High temperatures in the mid to low 90s. And once we get closer to about 5, 6 o'clock, this cold front builds into the area. Again, driving in those storms very quickly, bringing the potential for high winds, hail, and certainly not ruling out the possibility for an isolated tornado with this. That's going to continue through most of the evening, and then it pulls off to the east overnight. By Thursday, we're clearing up. Behind the cold front, we don't see a big pullback in our temperature, still above average, but it will be pulling back a little bit in the mid-80s for afternoon highs for Thursday. As we look ahead to that threat tomorrow, again, you've got to keep in mind that we're talking about severe thunderstorms, the possibility for hail of at least an inch in diameter. High-end events, similar to what we saw yesterday, have the possibility to produce golf ball size hail. Straight line winds could easily get over the 60 mile per hour hump, and even as we look ahead to some of those stronger wind gusts with some of the potential for stronger thunderstorms later in the day, wind gusts could reach that hurricane strength for us. So an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow because the heat in the afternoon, the humidity in the afternoon, yet again pushing our heat index readings over 100, and in the late evening we have the potential for that line of strong to severe thunderstorms. 92 the high for tomorrow, breezy, hot and humid with that line building in late. Beyond this, we're still trending above average. That has not loosened up for us much, looking ahead at this point again to the end of June. 84 the high on Thursday, mostly sunny outside. Will stay mostly sunny as we look ahead to Father's Day weekend. That's when it'll be nice and you can go pick strawberries, guys. Next week, overall, it's looking like a drier trend. Warm and humid yet again for the start of the week. Monday and Tuesday in the low 90s, and even by the middle of the week, still in the mid 80s. So as we just looked at with that national map, we're trending above average. Highs this time of year should be in the upper 70s. So close to 80 is not a big jump above average, but in general, we're above average, not just for our afternoon highs, but also for our overnight lows. Things have stayed quite warm outside overnight.
And it's pretty unusual to get this hot here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know we're tough. We can handle the heat. 95, 96 right now. We haven't been at 95 since 2018. And frankly, even at the end of July, our average high temperatures are in the low 80s. So we could easily make it through an entire summer, never getting above 85 degrees, and it would still be a very seasonable summer for Madison.
Interesting.
So being at 95 is a bit of an anomaly for us, and that's why we just keep preaching. Folks got to stay hydrated. They got to keep in mind it's hotter than usual, significantly hotter than usual.
We're not going for a walk tonight. Backyard. On the grass.
In and out, right?
Yeah. At least I am.
Right.
Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, every year on average, 38 children die from heat stroke after being left in a hot car, and the National Safety Council says 2 kids have already died that way this year.
But what if your car could warn you before that happens?
Nicole Nielsen has a look at new technology.
It took about a dozen engineers and 2.5 years.
Definitely more than 8 hours a day. It's become a mission as opposed to just a job.
But finally, Toyota Connected in Plano is sharing a look at the future.
The point of this technology is to prevent hot car deaths.
It's new technology they call cabin awareness, meant to save lives and prevent heat stroke deaths inside the car. Whether it's a baby or animal accidentally left in the back seat, or one who gets in on their own.
Take a look at our iPad here. It represents the knowledge about what we know of the car, right? There's no one in it. It's completely empty. But if we take our fake baby here, We're going to put her inside of the car, make sure that she's all snapped in, and as soon as she's in the car, we start to recognize that a child is inside and that child is buckled up. And this is all due to these advanced radars that can detect the child.
They don't calculate by weight or cameras. Instead, they sense micro movements like heartbeats or breathing.
So we are able to distinguish between a grocery bag and the human, whereas a weight sensor can't do that.
And how are you notified? The car will start by honking or flashing its lights. Following those warnings could come a text message or phone call if programmed.
A lone occupant has been detected in your green Toyota Sienna for 2 minutes.
The feature isn't ready to roll out just yet. So far, it's still in trials. But these engineers say they hope to see it in all cars soon.
Obviously, we're developing this for Toyota and Lexus. This is something that we see potentially as what we're calling like our Volvo moment, where they invented the 3-point safety harness, the seatbelt that we all have today in every single vehicle. This is something that came out of the hackathon as part of a social good and innovation movement that we would like to see adopted everywhere.
Well, something to keep in mind, the CDC says leaving a window open does not make a hot car safe for any living thing.
Even with the windows open, temperatures inside the car can rise almost 20 degrees within the first 10 minutes.
Just don't do it. Coming up here, next on Live at 4, Consumer Reports tells us tips to save money on travel.
And then coming up next hour at 5, a look at what some folks out west are facing as raging floodwaters strand residents and sweep away homes. That's coming up at 5.
Improve your well-being and comfort with a new walk-in tub or shower from Mad City Baths. It's the safe, smart solution for bathing that more homeowners are turning to, with bath and shower installations in as little as 1 day. Check out our walk-in or barrier-free showers, add grab bars and a safety seat for convenience, or choose a walk-in tub with relaxing hydrotherapy. Time is running out to call during our 60-60-60 sale. Save with 60% off installation of a new bath or shower with 60 months 0% interest, senior and military discounts, and receive a $60 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. Plus, last chance to call during this program for a bonus, $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. Check us out online at madcitybaths.com or throughout South Central Wisconsin. Call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
I'm Alex Lasry, a Democrat running to beat Senator Ron Johnson.
And I'm Lauren Lasry, and this is our daughter Eleanor. I know Alex will always fight for working families.
To get more money in the pockets of working people and lower costs.
By making paid leave available and healthcare more affordable.
And I'll always be a relentless supporter of a woman's right to choose.
Especially now. Alex is exactly the kind of ally Tammy Baldwin needs in the Senate.
So I approve this message because we have to do better than having Ron Johnson as our senator.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, pick up the phone and call us right now before it's too late. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and often amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from their neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call the number on your screen to find out if you're a candidate for our neuropathy program that has changed thousands of lives. You don't have to spend another day suffering. Call us today and see if you qualify for the relief you deserve. Do not wait. Call now.
Tonight at 5, severe storm damage littered Madison late yesterday. Today, the massive cleanup. We'll have a full report on the progress.
And after record-breaking high temperatures today, our attention is now shifting to the possibility for severe thunderstorms tomorrow. We'll time out that line as it moves through.
And ahead at 6, an intense heat wave hits Wisconsin hard. Tonight, we have some solutions for those struggling to beat the heat. That's coming up on News 3 Now at 6. Giving the weather satellite a spin. Oh, isn't that
it's
nice?
The Santa Monica Pier.
71 degrees.
Wow.
And sunny.
That is perfection.
We've been out there a couple times.
We have.
Rose bowling. Well, whether it's the beach, the mountains, the West Coast, or somewhere in between, a whopping 90% of us have summer travel plans this summer.
If your plans include a road trip, Consumer Reports has tips to help you save money, stay safe, and manage those unexpected bumps on the road.
Here's our Leah Lynchide.
If you're looking forward to a road trip, Consumer Reports says getting there can still be half the fun, even with sky-high gas prices.
When you're filling up in unfamiliar places, apps and websites like Waze and Gas Guru can give you real-time prices at nearby gas stations.
And Consumer Reports says you should also think about how you'll pay for that gas.
While many gas stations will offer you a lower price if you pay in cash, a credit card with cashback rewards may actually be a better deal, especially if you're paying more for gas than you normally would in a month.
And while you won't be charged to check a bag when road tripping, it still is a good idea to pack light so your car isn't heavier and therefore less fuel efficient than it needs to be.
And you can make your car more fuel efficient by reducing aerodynamic drag. You can take off your bike rack and your roof rack if you're not using them. And don't hate me, but if you just stick to the speed limit, you'll also save on fuel.
Consumer Reports tests show that cruising at 75 miles an hour instead of 65 can cost 6 miles per gallon or more. And driving the speed limit is also safer. Speaking of safety, if you have mechanical trouble or a flat tire far from home, you'll appreciate having roadside assistance, and it might save you money. Paying out of pocket for long-haul towing can run in the hundreds of dollars, while most roadside assistance plans cost around $35 to $120 a year. Some newer cars come with roadside assistance for a period of time, and a few credit cards and auto insurance policies include it. Just make sure you're covered before you hit the road. For News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
And along with packing of underwear, be sure to pack rapid antigen COVID tests and 95 mask and hand sanitizers. In that order.
That's great advice.
In that order.
That's what would people do without us. And if you do get sick while traveling, head home. If you're too far away, quarantine wherever you are, mask up, and just order some food in.
All right, still to come at 4. The FDA is looking at issuing emergency use for a number of COVID vaccines and age groups.
We'll talk with UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff about this and other COVID news when Live at 4 continues.
There's a difference in a small town where family values still hold true. Welcome to the Portage Furniture Store. Well, we ventured back to Portage and look at who we found, the two Ayers brothers, Austin and Aaron. It's good to see you guys.
Welcome back.
So how is business? How is life?
Business has been great. You know, it's been very busy, busy for both of us. A couple new kiddos in the past year. So no, but business has been doing great.
I know you really want to give a shout out to all of the people around this area that shop local, that choose to come right here to Cook Street to see the two of you.
Obviously, first and foremost, we're so appreciative of our customers, and there's just been such a strong sentiment to shop local, shop small, support family business. And I guess with the inventory, we've been very blessed. We've got a packed showroom, trucks coming in every week. We've really, we're running out of places to put everything. We're in good shape.
I feel like there's such a difference in the customer's mood when they walk in. They don't have that anxious feeling of, oh gosh, here comes the salesperson coming over to talk to me. Yeah. Why is that so different here?
We put a major emphasis on no pressure shopping. Our salespeople, they're fantastic. They're gonna be there when you need them, but they're gonna let you, try everything out, and they're gonna leave you alone and let you relax.
So all these years later, the big question is, there still the Portage Furniture free delivery?
Yep, absolutely. Still the free delivery. Gonna bring it right into your home, set it up, make it perfect for you. They'll even cook you dinner or sing a song for you if you need. They're just fantastic.
That's that small, local, family feel business mentality. You can't replicate it, right?
We're the Ayers family.
From the Portage Furniture Store, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
A few things we're keeping an eye on right now for traffic. Looking at 12 eastbound, just south of Baraboo, some pavement damage there. A very similar portion to what we were watching last summer, actually. 51 northbound, this is just north of the airport right now, also closed due to some pavement damage from the heat. The Beltline seeing significant delays eastbound right now. Westbound, things slow down a little bit close to Fish Hatchery Road, but then pick up pretty quickly as you get closer to Gammon. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. An unlikely friendship has formed on a distant planet. The Mars Perseverance rover has been roaming the red planet and has picked up a travel companion, a pet rock. The rock, which found its way onto the rover's left front wheel in February, has been there ever since, rolling with the rover for more than 5 miles of rugged terrain. Kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
A Food and Drug Administration advisory panel began 2 days of meetings today.
The meetings will likely lead to the agency recommending COVID vaccinations for infants and young children. Today, the panel is voting on whether to grant emergency use authorization for Moderna's vaccine for children ages 6 through 17. Older kids and teens would get 2 full-strength doses. Younger children would get 2 doses at half strength.
Vaccine effectiveness was successfully inferred in both age strata, and vaccine efficacy estimates are similar to adults.
Tomorrow, the panel will review Moderna and Pfizer's vaccines for children as young as 6 months. Children under 5 are the only ones not eligible to be vaccinated. It's unclear how much demand there is for this youngest age group. Only 29% of children under 12 have been vaccinated since they became eligible for Pfizer's shot in November.
And for the rest of us, UW Health is sending out a reminder that staying up to date with COVID vaccinations is critical.
Especially for people 65 and older, as the vaccine protection wanes over time.
As usual, there's lots to discuss with UW Health's Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Jeff Potoff. Welcome back.
Dr. Potoff, good to see you.
Good to see both of you.
Let's start with the FDA panel. This is big news for young kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of news coming out of the FDA, this week. So the big news is really a vaccine finally available for those kids between the ages of 6 months and 5 years. There's a lot of parents that have been waiting for that, taking extra mitigation steps just to try to keep their kids healthy. Likewise, they're also looking at the Moderna vaccine for those older kids. That gives us additional options, especially if we get into boosters into the future. It's nice to have 2 options rather than just 1. So I think we'll see some movement and some things approved. And for those 6 month to 5-year-old kids, vaccinated as early as sometime next week.
Pfizer released some of its data on its vaccine and showed that it was 80% effective for that youngest age group. But what is your advice for parents who still might be a little bit on the fence about whether that's what they want to do?
Yeah, I think, when I approach this, I realize that, kids are less likely to have severe disease than adults, but kids do sometimes get really severe disease. And even 1 or 2 kids having severe disease in the hospital or dying, like, boy, I'm not sure I want to take that chance. But likewise, kids do have other symptoms too, long haul symptoms. This could keep them out of sports for a while. It's pretty inconvenient to have COVID, and if you can reduce the chance of getting COVID by 80% so that your kid can, participate in all those summer activities with almost 0 risk to them from getting the vaccine, other than probably a day of being pretty fussy when they get that 2nd dose, the benefits seem to far outweigh the risks. So I know some parents are like, I'm just not sure it's worth getting it scheduled. I think it's definitely worth getting it scheduled.
And there is a lot of COVID out there right now.
Why are there so many breakthrough cases?
Yeah, so we have these breakthrough cases because we have these variants that are different enough compared to original COVID-19, where even though our vaccines and even previous infections protect pretty well against severe disease, they're not able to protect against reinfection or infection with these new variants. So what we're seeing, especially with mitigation gone, is high levels of cases, but most folks having, moderate symptoms. They don't feel great that they have it, but they're not then progressing on to hospitalizations. They're not dying at the same rate as they were in earlier parts of the pandemic.
And that's why vaccines are so important.
Yeah, vaccines are really important because the most important thing they do is they prevent you from getting really, really sick. I mean, they can prevent death. That's pretty important. To a lesser degree, they protect you against getting any symptoms at all. And that's kind of a nice, side effect or benefit, icing on top of the cake. But if we had no vaccines, we'd only be able to rely on natural infection. We know that a lot of people, or some people, die when they get COVID. And that natural immunity, especially with some of these Omicron variants, may not last that long. You can get reinfected, sometimes 30 days after your initial infection. Certainly within 3 to 4 months of your original infection, you're prone to a new one.
If you've had your second booster, you're at the end of the line, right? In other words, you can't get another booster every 5 months. You're only approved right now for 2 after the 2-dose regimen.
Right now where we're at is basically a booster dose, a second booster dose for some of the population, and then what I think we'll see coming into fall is more global recommendations around what's the long-term booster strategy, and I think we'll see something where boosters are recommended at some sort of interval, maybe once a year, just to keep that immunity fresh. We're hearing news about hybrid vaccines with coverage for Omicron as well as kind of that initial strain. I think we'll get on some kind of cadence that more mimics what we see with flu shots, rather than what we're dealing with, in the recent past, which is, your 2-dose series, and then 6 months later another shot, 6 months later is another shot. I don't think it's going to keep up at that same rate.
Okay, I think a lot of people are getting vaccine weary.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to get a shot every 6 months, right?
I'd gladly do it. All right, so I mean, if you're sick, stay home. Obviously, take a test.
Absolutely. If you're having symptoms, take a test. Know if you're sick or not. If you do have COVID, don't go out and infect everyone else. Otherwise, think about what you want to do or what you want to do a couple weeks from now. And, you might want to throw a mask on if you have vacation coming up in a week and you don't want to be sick for it. Or let's say you're going to go to a wedding and you don't want to be sick. It wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if you're indoors with a lot of people, to put that mask on.
Good advice.
Good advice, yeah.
Doctor, see you next week.
See you then.
Thanks for being with us. Final check of your forecast coming up.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
My sister's managing a lot, including her type 2 diabetes, but she's found new ways to stay on top of it all.
Once weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C, and it can help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
Tonight at 5, storm cleanup crews work to rebuild the community after extensive severe storm damage to the area, but more could be on the way. Dana?
And in the meantime, we're keeping a close eye on our next round for severe weather. We'll time out that coming up tonight at 5.
A local nonprofit celebrates 10 years.
We are small but mighty.
Eric Franke explains the critical help Geo's Garden gives to families of kids with special needs.
It's amazing to see the impact that Geo's has had.
And what could come next. Thursday on News 3 Now at 6.
96 degrees right now in Madison, 97 in Janesville. It is hot and it is humid outside. As we look ahead to tomorrow, it is going to be hot again. High temperatures in the 90s with heat index readings over 100. And we're looking at the potential for a line of strong to severe thunderstorms to build in late in the day. We will time out that line coming up in just a few minutes on 5.
All right, thank you, Dana. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, are you looking for a summer travel destination? How about the Maldives?
We'll find out where they are and what makes them worth a 23-hour trip from CBS travel expert Wendy Gillette. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of road and triathlon bicycles from Moots, Giant, Felt, Waterford, and Trek. Trek has a great lineup of sport touring bicycles that are great for day tours and charity rides. The place to shop for the world's most beautiful bicycles is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world. Free adjustments and service are included in your Machinery Row bicycle. So many fun things to look at and bicycles to test ride on the bicycle path by the lake at Machinery Row Bicycles.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin. Ask about our $99 prescription sunglasses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
In today's Final Touch, an iconic sculpture is going to help the people of Ukraine.
The piece by world-famous artist Jeff Koons is being auctioned off to raise funds for humanitarian aid. Balloon Monkey will go under the hammer at London's auction house Christie's. It's estimated to fetch at least $12 million. The large stainless steel balloon dog is almost immediately recognizable as the work of Koons. Shimmering metallic pink, Balloon Monkey was donated by a billionaire Ukrainian couple, and the money raised will go toward vital funds, particularly to assist soldiers and civilians in need of prosthetics, medical treatment, and rehab as a result of the war. Koons started exploring recreating inflatable objects in the 1970s. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News Now at 5 starts right now.